Merry Christmas, everyone. I just wanted to share with you and welcome you to the Live and Raw podcast, Business Breakthroughs number 3. I'm excited about sharing this with you today because as we bring 2020 to a close, and I'm sure some of you will say good riddance, I'm excited about what 2021 is going to bring all us as entrepreneurs and business owners. So I want you to grab your favorite writing stick. Mine's a Sigma pen, it writes beautifully. And grab your favorite notebook and get ready to take some notes. I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to be a whole lot of time here today, but I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on setting some goals that will help you put action plans in place so that you can start moving towards those goals in 2021 and achieve them, right? So my wife and I just spent last weekend setting our goals and doing some planning for our own personal lives for 2021, and then tied into planning the personal side of our lives. Then we look at what we can do from a business perspective to help us achieve those goals. Because at the end of the day, your business is a tool, is a vehicle that is going to support your personal goals and your personal lifestyle. If you're looking at it the other way around, like your personal lifestyle supports your business goals, it's all wrong. You're doing it backwards. So I strongly urge you to take some time and rethink what you're going to be doing for your personal life and then how your business is going to get you there, right? How that business vehicle is going to get you to achieve those. So if there's some certain things that you need to do in your business to be able to achieve those, like, so for example, my wife and I need to, we want to buy an acreage at the end of 2021. And so we're looking at a fairly big chunk of cash that is a down payment. So we're looking at what is the business going to have to do to be able to provide that personal down payment for our home. And so we kind of worked our way back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and share with you some of those tips and tricks that we did in our planning and how you can apply those to your life and your business, right? So as we look forward to 2021, we don't know what that's going to look like. A lot of business gurus in the past have said, what's your 10-year, 5-year goals? I think with COVID and everything that's going on here at the end of 2021 and the lockdowns, we don't know what the future is going to bring. But that does not mean that you cannot plan. Still plan, but set the goals. Just the action plans might have to change to make it work. But set the goals. And I want to encourage you to set the goals so you have something to drive forward to, right? You want to be able to set your goals big enough that they scare you a little bit. Now, why do I say scare you a little bit? If it's not big enough to scare you a little bit and make you work your ass off to go get it, the reward isn't going to be as big as it should be. Or perhaps you're going to be a little bit too comfortable. Right? And if you're comfortable, you won't always take the action that you need to get forward, move your life forward, move your business forward, take the actions you need to take, right? So if you're in that hungry state, if you're in that uncomfortable state, you will take action, right? So setting goals. So first of all, set a goal, make it big enough to scare you. My wife's goal for us having a home at the end of 2020 is pretty big. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm a little scared about it because it's a fairly big chunk of change and I'm going, okay, I got a lot of work to do. I also have my own personal goal of launching my off-road racing business. And part of that is buying an off-road race car and qualifying for 3 races before the end of 2021 so I can race in the King of the Hammers in February of 2022. I'm pretty excited about that. That does take a fair amount of money, so I'm looking forward to making that happen. So specific goals. And so what I'm going to do is talk to you a little bit about SMART goals. I'm sure you've heard of SMART goals. SMART is an acronym. For those of you that haven't heard of it, SMART stands for specific. What is your goal? What is it that you want to attain, right? The M in SMART stands for measurable. How are you going to measure that you've attained it, right? So for example, in your business life, if you're looking to get 100 leads a month, right? That's a measurable goal because it's got a number attached to it, right? So in the case of my off-road racing, I need to generate X number of dollars to purchase the truck by said date, right? So let's talk about measurable, attainable. Is it realistic, right? So for example, if your business is running $500,000 in revenue and your personal life is living on less than $100,000 in income, what does that look like for you when you say, well, I want to be a multi-billionaire? That's not really attainable, right? Not yet. It could be down the road. So let's bring it back a little bit and make it much more attainable. So if you're running $500,000 in revenue and you're living off of less than $100,000 in personal income, then let's set a goal to say, okay, let's hit $1 million in revenue and let's increase our personal income to 200 grand. That is attainable, right? It's also realistic, which is what the R stands for in SMART, S-M-A-R-T. S-M-A-R is realistic, right? If you're going to shoot for the moon, go big, right? But you want to make sure it's realistic, right? And again, it comes back down to, can you achieve it? And is it realistic to achieve, right? And then the T stands for timestamp. You want to put a time on it. When are you going to achieve this by? So for example, my wife wants her down payment for her house. We want to be able to do that in December of 2021 and have the money ready. For my off-road racing, we need to have $50,000 available to us in June of 2021, which is 6 months away, so that I can qualify for the first race in August of this year here in Alberta. So those are some timestamps that we've got applied to our own goals. So I want you guys to look at S for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, R for realistic, and T for putting a timestamp on it, right? And again, your goal needs to be big enough to scare you, big enough to make you uncomfortable, big enough to make you go, holy crap, how am I going to do this? And then be in that hungry state to go after it and go get it, right? And then the last thing I really want to touch on is one of the things that was missing in my goal setting in all the years that I've been in business. And not that I wasn't a big goal setter and stuff, but in the moment, when we have the opportunity to make those choices in the moment, I always made the wrong choice. Well, I won't say always. Quite often I made the wrong choice simply because I wasn't able to do what was important in the moment to achieve the goal. I always did what was important elsewhere in achieving the goal. So for example, after working a 12-hour day in the business and I wanted to come home and just decompress, I ended up sitting on the couch watching TV instead of sending those emails out or sending those responses out to bids or anything like that. And those kind of things took away from me achieving my goal. They delayed the process. It wasn't that I didn't get it done, it's it delayed the process. Instead of achieving it in the first year or the first month, it was the second month or the second year. Those are the kind of things that happen. So what I want to encourage you to do is when you set your goal, set your prize. What is going to be your reward for achieving that goal for your personal life and for your business? So for example, you want to hit that elusive $1 million in revenue in your business. When you hit that revenue and you hit a profit target, what's going to be your reward? Do you take your family and your wife, your husband, your kids on a vacation because you haven't been on one in 4 or 5 years? I did that. When we doubled our revenue the second year after having a coach on our team, we took a vacation the first time in 6 years. It was pretty cool. We were gone for 6 weeks. I loved it. It was great. Those are the kind of things that you need to attach to your goal. If you hit this number, you're going to go do this as a reward. What is that reward? And then I want you to spend some time sitting in it and thinking about what it would feel like if you have achieved, as if you have achieved your goal and you are experiencing your prize. Feel the emotion. Feel what it feels like. If you're on a beach somewhere, wiggle your toes and imagine what that sand feels like, that warm sand going through your toes. My wife and I, we spent a week in Boracay, which is one of the top 5 beaches in the world. It's in the Philippines, this little tiny island. The sand is gorgeous. It's white sand. It's fine like powder, and your feet don't burn walking across it, which is kind of cool. I grew up in Kelowna. walking across a beach at Gyro Park, that sand was freaking hot. You would burn your feet on it. In Boracay, it was way hotter there. No, you didn't burn your hand. Didn't burn your feet. You could lay on the beach. It was great. Wiggle your toes. See what it feels like. Feel the heat on your body. Feel the sun on your body. Feel what it's like to go for a swim in the water. All of those things, all those feelings I want you to experience, I want you to tie that to your goal. Because when you get in the moment, when you have to make a choice, whether I sit on the couch or whether I pick up the phone and make that phone call or whatever it is, you're only going to do what's important in the moment. And if your brain is focused on your goal and your emotion is tied to the prize, in the moment of choice, you will stop and go, I need to make that phone call. I need to talk to that client. I need to send this email. And you will make the right choice to move your business closer and faster forward than you would otherwise, right? So that's the last thing I want to share with you guys is just to tie the emotion to it. So let's just recap really quick. Setting goals for 2021, right? You'll want to use SMART goals. Find something that's realistic. Now, if you're in the habit of setting New Year's resolutions, I want you to say, yeah, great, it's all good. But the whole process behind what I'm sharing with you is you can take your New Year's resolution, instead of it dying off in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you can carry it right through the entire 12 months of 2021 and achieve everything that you want to achieve in your business and in your personal life. And that's what I'm excited for you guys about. So feel free, if you leave your comments down below. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. But just to recap, set your goals. Set them big enough that they're going to scare you for your personal life, right? How much money you need, what you want to do, when you want to do it by. SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and put a timestamp to it. And then once you have your goal set, what is going to be your prize around that goal? What is going to be your reward for achieving it? And then tie the emotion of you achieving that in the moment to your goal. And that will allow you to make those choices in the moment when you need to move towards your goal instead of being the couch potato or doing something else, right? And then what else is the last thing I want to talk about? Actually, that's it. Cool. We covered it all. So make 2021 the best year ever. I know 2020 was okay for some people. It was good for others. For the vast majority of business owners, it sucked. And I'm pretty sure most of you are saying good riddance. And that's fine. Don't worry too much about the past. Don't worry about what you've done in the past. Look forward from today forward. Spend your time present in the moment today and look at what you can do going forward, right? So I want to just share that with you guys, the goal setting as we move into 2021. Write some comments, ask questions, whatever you want to do. I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as possible. And at the very least, if you set some goals, you make them SMART, you make them trackable and make them measurable by using the SMART system. And if you guys want a template for setting SMART goals, hit me up in the comments and I'll send you a template for free. And tie your emotion to it. That was one of the biggest things that I found in setting my rewards is when I didn't really feel like doing something, that emotion was triggered and it made me go, hey, do you want to get this goal? And my brain went, yes. And we move forward to get that. So I wish the best for you guys in 2021. And as we get closer and closer to New Year's, I'll do another podcast on New Year's Eve. I think it's Friday, but look for it being podcast number 4. And anything else that you guys want some help with, by all means, if you have some topics or ideas or comments that you want to see me talk about, throw it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to add some flair to my session. I do follow a bit of a theme here. I am working on some topics, but certainly any input from my followers would be great. As I grow my customer base, my client base, my following base, it's going to be about creating abundance in the community and helping you guys win in 2021. Until then, love you guys, take care, and work hard and work safe. And by all means, fight for your dreams. fight for your goals.